Hello and welcome to a very windy Dartmoor. I've brought out my new toy this afternoon, and hopefully you can hear me. I've got a wireless microphone on with a wind muff, so hopefully the sound is quite good. And this is the new toy. It's an old CScope CS2MX Mk2. It's got a dual discrimination channel. Sorry, it's being blown around in the wind here. It's got the 8-inch Isocon head and the trusty CScope cam locks. As with all CScopes, it's got very simple controls. It's got an on-off sensitivity control, switches the detector on and off. You turn it round to the red zone, so you just get an audio threshold. I don't know whether you can pick that up with the wind, so I'm going to exaggerate that a little bit. You can either run it with the audio threshold, or you can just back it off to silent. I'm old school, so I run it with a little bit of audio threshold, but for clarity of the video I'm just going to turn it back a little bit. You've got dual discrimination, so you can set one relatively low. Setting about 4, between 4 and 5 eliminates most iron and silver paper, and the second discrimination control runs on exactly the same scale, but it allows you to run the second discrimination slightly higher. So if you get a target and you want to compare it, press the button for disc 2, and while it's in disc 2, the higher level of discrimination operates. So the second discrimination level being set higher allows you to second guess what the item is. If it starts beginning to break up on a ring pull, say at 7, then you know there's a fair chance that it's actually a ring pull. Yes, you potentially will miss a good target, but sometimes when detecting time is limited, or you only have access to a site for a certain period of time, then if you can, it's a balancing act of rejecting items and digging good items. The detector runs on 8 AA batteries, which are housed in the end of the arm control. This creates a lovely balanced detector. Also on the control here we have the headphone jack, and then on the other side, underneath this cover, there is a charger point for rechargeable batteries, and this also at the back there is the speaker. The detector runs on 8 AA batteries, which are housed in this clip. These are just the batteries that came with the detector. I bought it second hand off eBay, and the battery unit just does up with a couple of little screws, like so. The coil is just fixed together with a simple lug system. Holds the coil very, very securely. The lugs, you don't get the problem with C-scopes as you do on some of the more modern detectors where the lugs break. These are built like tanks. Although the plastics is yellowed a bit over the years, this is what you would expect. You can, probably not recommended, but you can actually restore the white with a little bit, some hydrogen peroxide, but I'm not sure what it does do to the stability of the plastic, so I've avoided doing that. By the time it's covered in soil, you're not going to notice a little bit of yellow. The detector is extremely well balanced. I mean, I'm balancing that on one finger. you could swing this all day without fatigue. Although the box is durable, it's lightweight, and I just can't get over the balance. The balance is superb. The armrest, foam handles, very comfortable. It's I say very easy to swing. It's so easy to operate. You just set the discrimination level and you swing. If you get a good target, it just screams at you. There's no meter, there's no numbers to try and decipher. It's just good old simplicity. It just really does. These machines really do bring back the pleasure, the pure pleasure of metal detecting. And for those of us that started in the 70s, you'll know what I mean. You do get talk. Okay, technology's moved on. Yes, there are faster machines, there are deeper machines. But these sort of detectors will find probably 90% of everything that any other detector brand will find. I've got a Mk2, hand on heart, the Mk2 has not found me any finds that I wouldn't have found with any other detector. All the finds are within the first 6-7 inches of the surface. This will find them. I'm going to show you the separation, because this is where people say, oh, you need multi-frequency for the separation. I'm going to show you some separation on this, because this is a 17 kilohertz detector. The separation is actually quite impressive. Right, I've got a small iron ring, probably about the size, I don't know, in between a old penny and a George cartwheel penny, reasonably thick, and got the detector switched on. You can hear the threshold now. I've got the Discream set at 4. You can hear it nulling out over the iron. Don't know whether you can hear the threshold nulling with the wind. Okay, got modern 20p piece. I don't know, 3-4 fingers width apart from the head. Okay, I'm getting it one way. Okay, now this is put the 20p on top of the iron ring. Now that's pretty impressive. That is pretty impressive. I'm going to put my wedding ring, which is palladium, which is quite a low conductor. Again, no problem finding that. So I'm getting a one-way hit on that. Got to bear in mind that this is an old detector. The CScope, especially with a concentric coil, is a speed demon. Again, one way, turning 90 degrees, not a problem at all. Okay, now for a bit of fun, this is not a comparison video. I'm not saying this detector is better than or worse than the CS2MX. This is just a modern Minelab Xterra Pro, an entry-level detector, costs £299. I'm going to switch it into all metal, sensitivities on maximum, volumes on maximum, Sensitivity, yeah, well, I mean it's 25. It needs to go back down to 23 just to stay stable. Okay, putting the 20p next to the iron ring. Let's see what happens. Normal sweep speed. We're getting a little bit of chirp, but the numbers are saying do not dig. They're all negative numbers. Now putting the 20p on top of the iron ring. It totally disappears. Okay, let's switch this off. Just show you there's no jiggery pokery. There we go. Discream on 5. Sorry, just nudge that off. Just now that is quite impressive. Okay, that was a bit of a fun test, but I think you'd agree with me, the CScope did extremely well there. Now, I'm not saying that it's these old detectors are better than the newer detectors. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that they perform extremely well, and I mean this is one of their old models. This 20 odd years old. I think you'll agree that they're probably well ahead of their time when these were out. The new CS2MX, 4MXi, 3MXi are fantastic detectors. They're really fast, great detectors, totally underrated. No, CScope don't bring a new detector out every year because they don't need to. They're extremely fast, great discrimination, and you know, okay, if this is old technology, I'd rather have the old technology. You know, I haven't spent all afternoon looking at numbers, trying to work out whether this dot is on the line or off the line, and what does this smear mean. You know, that takes a lot of the fun out of detecting. This thing, you beep, you set the discrimination, you swing, it beeps, you dig it, and the best form of discrimination is your spade. So yeah, no, I'm having good fun with these detectors. Yeah, I've made a decision to sell my Mk2. As I said before, the Mk2, hand on heart, has not found me anything that I wouldn't have found with any other detector. Now, I'm not knocking the Mk2. It is a fantastic detector. It's got lots of bells and whistles. But I think, yeah, for me, detecting is not about bells and whistles. It's about being outdoors, being in the countryside, finding history. Okay, I've spent my life in front of computers and gadgets and technology. I just enjoy finding history and just swinging the detector and just listening and taking in the countryside. And I think that's what detecting is all about. And then for me, it's actually renewed my detecting, coming back to this inverted commas old technology. So my new main detector is the CScope CS2MX. I've got some of these old detectors. I've also got the 990 XD. I've got a CS660 on the way. For the beach, I'm getting a CS4 PI, and I'm also want to get a 1220 XD because I think I really like the look of that detector. So I'm going to do a series of these videos, and I'm going to take them out onto some organised digs. I'll probably get laughed at by people that are blinded by marketing hype, but so be it. hopefully my finds will speak for themselves. Okay, catch you on the next video.